Top 10 running backs going into the 2019 season. I don't have any honorable mentions this time around because there was a lot of running backs that I felt, you might as well make a whole another top 10 list because there were a good amount of running backs this season. A lot of new guys who broke out. But no honorable mentions. Just going to go right into the top 10 running backs. So at number 10, I have Le'Veon Bell. Now, Le'Veon Bell missed a lot of all of last season because he wanted a new contract. He didn't get it, and he gets traded away. He goes to the Jets. Now, he didn't play a whole season, which I think is actually a good thing because running backs, they get a lot of wear and tear and don't last very long, so missing an entire season isn't the worst thing. But when Le'Veon Bell is playing, he makes a lot of plays. He can catch passes out of the backfield and is a great running back in general. I debated putting him on the list just because he did miss the entire season. But overall, I thought, I'm going to add him here because I know that when he does play, he is a really good running back. At number 9, I have Joe Mixon. Had 1,000 yards this season. I think it was close last season. He just didn't get there. Had a good season overall for the Bengals. I don't want to say came out of nowhere. It did shock me. I had him in fantasy football, and when I saw that I had drafted him, I was like, I don't know if it's going to work out, but it's all right. And it ended up working out pretty good. Good running back. At this point, he's the main guy with the Bengals. I mean, they had Giovanni Bernard and Jeremy Hill, but I think those guys are out of the picture. And now it's all Joe Mixon. I think he can. It's really hard to move up in the running back list. He would have to do a lot, but I think he's done enough to earn himself a spot in my top 10 list. At number 8, I have Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry has been really, really good. I mean, he had that one game where he had 200 plus yards and 4 touchdowns. And sadly, I had him in fantasy football that game, but he was on my bench. But he did a really good job, especially near the end of the season. He really did a good job of just overall being a great running back. I think he will do. He'll add on to this. It's a good solid spot here at 8. With the numbers he put up, I think he'll get better. Now that he is going to have probably get a lot more touches because I don't know how much you can trust Marcus Mariota throwing the football. So they'll probably see them run the ball a lot because Derrick Henry did a really good job with that. At number 7, I have Saquon Barkley. Now, he's going to move up on this list next season. I almost guarantee it. Well, I don't know because the Giants' offensive line is amazing. Granted, it wasn't amazing last season, and Saquon did a great job, running the football. He just made plays, and he's going to be the star of that Giants offense now, and he's going to get the ball a lot, whether it's catching passes or running the football. He is going to do a lot, and I think that he's going to get an increased workload. And if the offensive line can, block for him, he is going to be really, really good. At number 6, I have Christian McCaffrey. I believe McCaffrey was close to 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving. He was short of one of those. I think he'll do it this season. He can catch passes out of the backfield, run the ball. I think his numbers went down due to Cam Newton's injury, and just Cam not being able to play all that well, and then at points having to go with Taylor Heineke. So McCaffrey's only going to improve. I definitely see him moving up on my list, and he is overall can do a lot for the Panthers and the Panthers offense. At number 5, Kareem Hunt. Now Kareem Hunt was having a good season. And then the footage came out of him, I guess, showing off his kicking skills, came out. And he was suspended, released, and now he's on the Browns. I think that he'll bounce back. I think he is missing a couple games. He'll do all right with the games that he will play in. I could see him possibly struggling just because he's going to miss some time, but I think he'll put up the numbers he's put up good numbers with the amount of games he's going to play. At number 4, Alvin Kamara, another one of those guys who can do a lot. Was one of the reasons why Drew Brees' numbers were down, because they were giving the ball to Alvin Kamara. It's a big part of the Saints offense. I think he's only going to improve. I think forward's a good solid spot for him. I could possibly see him move up. I don't know if I will, but I think forward's a good solid spot. He could, take over some other guys' spots, but I think forward's a good spot. At number 3, Melvin Gordon. Now, Melvin Gordon currently is holding out for a new contract. I think he'll get that contract because he deserves it. Has put up great numbers these last couple seasons. And I think 3 is a good solid spot. You could flip-flop him and Alvin Kamara, just, depending on how you see it. But I think that 3 is a good solid spot. At number 2, Zeke Elliott. He deserves to get paid. He's also coming up on a contract. I think he's also holding out in training camp. He deserves to get more money than Dak Prescott. The Cowboys should move on from Dak and just keep Zeke and find a running back who can do the quarterback who can do exactly the same thing that Dak can, which is just hand it off to Zeke and then dink and dunk down the field. Zeke is the reason why the Cowboys are good, that and their defense. Zeke is that entire Cowboys offense. I think his yards have gone up almost every season, and he's also had 1,000 yards every season. He's only going to get better, probably. You never know. He can fall off, I guess. That's what happens when you pay guys. But I think he'll get paid and will do exactly what he's doing when he didn't have the money. At number 1, Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley had a great season, and I think that gets forgotten because of the way he played in the Super Bowl and the way his team played in the Super Bowl. I think that Todd Gurley is the number 1 running back in the league. I understand he had the whole knee issue, but before that, he was tearing it up. He was a big part of why the Rams' offense is great. Granted, you could be like, well, look at C.J. Anderson. He filled in just fine. But, I mean, look, Todd Gurley is really good. And you can flip-flop him and Zeke, but I feel like they're both play big factors, and it's really a coin flip, and I think I rather go with Todd Gurley over Zeke. Who would I rather have? I think Gurley can do a little bit more when it comes to catching passes out of the backfield and being a receiver than Zeke. So that's why I went with Todd Gurley at the number 1 spot. And I think, like I said, you can go either way. This is my top 10 running back going into the 2019 season. Next will be my top 10 wide receivers going into the 2019 season.